Alright, Travis Wayne Goodsell. Time keeps on ticking into the future. For those of you, which are probably all of you, the Equifax scandal, where they got hacked and lost our data, and our data got sold on the black market, and then our data got used on other websites that stole our identity. That whole scandal that ruined our lives and financially indebted us and destroyed our credit rating was only worth $125 according to Equifax. Those checks, if they're going to actually follow through and actually pay the full $125, woo, I'm rich, it was supposed to have been mailed out on Friday. So sometime this week we should be getting our checks. Should be. But again, corrupt people, corrupt organizations like the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints don't like to do what is right, even when the law tells them they have to. In my case, with the lawsuit, the law is also corrupt, protecting and defending the LDS Church. And so, even though I followed the rules of federal procedure for the courts, they're resisting. Like I said, they committed crimes in the process of my lawsuit against the church. And that's why I filed the recusal and then had to file the summary judgment, because I won. I proved my case without a trial. And so, like the church didn't give me a trial back in 2008, I now was able to demonstrate without a trial that I win my case, following the law, where they didn't follow the law previously. And so, man. I had a topic as I was thinking, but I didn't write it down. And so I'm trying to remember now. So I'm going to ramble on, see if I can find it. If I can't, I'll just stop and upload what I got. And if I remember, I'll do it. Yeah, I'm sure all of you have heard the sad news, even if you watched the Oscars to hear it. Lost Kobe Bryant and his daughter. Some of the news stories don't even mention his daughter. I only saw one that mentioned his daughter that was included. Sad news. I know it had to do with corruption. And of course it would have to do with the church. This week, everybody's expecting the trial to conclude and acquit Trump. I hope you guys understand what Trump will do in retaliation. He's already threatened Schiff. over the weekend he made a tweet, and Chuck Todd from MTP Daily, or not Daily, just MTP, it was the weekend, was interviewing Schiff about it. We have a president who actually wants to destroy America, and white supremacists all over cheer. White supremacists. That's a trigger word that brought back to mind what I was going to talk about. But yeah, I mean, Trump is going to destroy America, guys. It's not a good day. You know, to have America in rubble and ash, with millions dead, locked up, that's not a good thing. That doesn't make America great. And we should know that. We should know about being loving and kind and humane. I mean, the majority of America are Christian-based. And it's sad. The inhumanity of mankind. All from a white supremacist origin. And what's interesting is that I've told you guys that I went to the University of Lethbridge up in Canada for the dual bachelor's with a minor. When I first got there, I tried taking courses that would pay me a living rather than what I liked and would want to do for the rest of my life. I quickly learned that no, I can't do that. I can't work at a job that I don't like, especially because two of the careers that I pursued there quickly helped me realize that it's a field of abusive behavior by those who are already in it. And it was feminists who were dominating those two fields. The fundamental feminists, not the general umbrella of feminism. And so it's your alt-right of feminism, the kind who hate men, the kind who discriminate against men, thinking they have to seek revenge on all men for the wrongs of white supremacists. And that was the first time that I became a discriminated class, victimized by another. Generally, I didn't recognize, well, at first, I thought I was just being bullied. But you get ignored, you get rejected, you get abused verbally, and in a course setting, it's difficult to pass and succeed in the class. And they purposely are more critical of your work than the work of your female peers, your female student peers. And so, yeah, it's not cool. So nobody should be abused and bullied. The concept of our discriminated group has been victimized for millennia, therefore we need to rise up and take over and be the bullies. That concept is counterproductive for societal advancement. And so then I come to Utah for the first time ever after I graduated. And didn't realize it at first. It took time to realize what it was. I knew racism was a part of it. I knew sexism was a part of it. But white supremacy as the overarching umbrella for Mormonism never occurred to me. Because Mormons don't shave their head, they don't tattoo their bodies with swastikas and other hate stuff. Although they do graffiti. But I always thought those were rogue groups who were anti-Mormon, who chose not to follow the true gospel. But little by little, it all added up. Having peers I'd wear a pink tie for the Easter Sabbath, and the guys would say, "Oh, looks like you're secure in your masculinity." They knew I was divorced, but still they think that they want to bully me into being gay. And that's part of the psychological abuse that goes on, that psychiatry has taught humanity. By creating the categories that I've talked about in other videos, the dichotomous and then the non-dichotomous spectrum categories, the psychiatrists create your thinking process, your actions, your beliefs, because they keep telling you, for example, if you go to a psychiatrist, they'll say, "Oh, you're mentally ill," and you may at first resist, say, "No, I'm not. What are you talking about? I just witnessed a mass shooting at a school." "No, you're mentally ill." And you sit on the couch and you talk to them, and they diagnose you as if like a doctor would, doing actual hard science measurements to determine the cause of your pain or your illness. But psychiatry is a fraud. They don't use hard science measurements. They come at you with opinionated adjectives, and they're all based upon having categorized you in a box. And you see that in politics, where you guys are either Democrat or Republican. Very few of us recognize that we're not supposed to be party groups. But technically more than half. Not all of America votes. But those who are Republican and Democrat, they war against each other because they place each other in the categories. They do it themselves. I'm a Democrat, I'm a Republican. And then within, people declare themselves as left-wing moderate or right-wing Democrat or Republican. You guys fell into the trap that they set for you. And so you only watch the news you want to hear. I only watch the news on social media. There is no news on social media unless it's actual news like CNN. So there's nothing wrong with watching news that uses CNN. But that's not what the commercial is talking about, is it? It's this division that got created by psychiatrists. Stanley Smith Stevens, Mormon of Utah, from Ogden, who's now dead, but his abuse lives on forever. But it's the same here in Mormonville. That tribalist mentality of us versus them. The warring factions to protect and defend the church at all costs, rather than realizing, hey, wait a minute, no, this isn't right. What we're doing to our fellow human beings is not right. What Gary Herbert is doing to the homeless is not right. And like discussions yesterday, it's just, it makes no sense that Mormons can't see it. But yeah, I left home and got subjected to the real world that was played out in the movies that I watched that I thought were just fiction. So I go up to Canada and am bullied by alt-right feminists, and I come to Utah and I'm bullied by alt-right Mormons. It's just unbelievable. So I'm gonna stop here, but the court has till Friday to respond. But like I said, I don't think they're going to respond. They're supposed to. They need to. They can't. She may, but she can't. Through the court process now, she has to respond to my motions before she can say, "Oh, Travis, you didn't file in time, as the 120 days are now up from when you refiled." She can't pull that stunt. That just proves my case was true, that I won. But I don't know. I don't know what they're up to. But all right. So I hope you watched the link on the video where I was talking about the Mormon bullying and abuse, because it's an LDS Living channel, Mormon, and so they do think they're funny, but listen to what they're talking about. It's scary when you look at it from an outsider's perspective in. So if you're Mormon or former Mormon, you may not catch it. As a former Mormon, you may be disgusted by it. Go, oh man, those stupid Mormons. But pay attention now. Now that you're out, pay closer attention. They're talking about their racism, their sexism, their bigotry. For example, when the one woman talks about, are you wearing multiple layers or 5 layers or something like that, that's sexism. That's victim blaming. That they think that they have to overly protect themselves so that they won't be raped for the women, and thus be guilty of sin for having been raped. And so they think that if they can create hedge laws above and beyond what Joseph Smith gave, that they're safe and God will protect them. And so it's just so sad. Alright. Get going on my day. The rain turned to snow, so it's a little slick out there, so I won't be running today.